guys, welcome back to my channel. I am super excited about this video. I have never done anything like this before, but I thought it might be fun since I'm kind of obsessed with the Bachelor, Bachelorette franchise. I thought it would be super fun to start doing Bachelorette recaps for this season. I did miss week 1, so I don't have a video available for that week, but it is week 2 now, and from here on out, I'm gonna start trying to be more consistent with uploading the rest of the season. But before I get into this recap, I'm gonna be annoying for a second and tell you guys to please subscribe to my channel and push the bell so that you don't miss any of my future Bachelorette recaps. I am a Christian wife and mother of 2 little toddlers, so I do have some motherhood content / day in the life vlogs on my channel along with this if you are interested in that. But yes, I've got my notes here. I took a lot, I feel like, and I haven't looked at them since I wrote them. Anyway, let's just go ahead and get right into this video. So first, I want to talk about Katie. Now, I really liked Katie when she was on Matt's season, which was the last Bachelor. But to be honest, I did not like Katie at first. I thought she was too out there. But then as the season went on, she really grew on me. I really liked how she stuck up for Sarah and was just like a huge advocate for like being kind. So I love that about her. I've loved her so far this season. I know it's only been a couple of weeks, but I still love her. I think she's awesome for the Bachelorette, and I really hope she finds love. But I do feel like there are some really great guys this season, so that's a plus. So let's talk about the first group date. I feel like the first group date, I mean, maybe all of them are kind of awkward, but the first one is like especially awkward. I feel like they really put the guys through the ringer, like the first group date, and it's always like super sexual. I know that Katie is like sex positive, they keep saying that, sex positive, but I don't know, it's just so awkward. So this group date was all about like finding the perfect lover for Katie, right, about why they would be the perfect lover for her. See, I'm so awkward. I'm like a Christian mom prude. So anyway, we're not gonna get into that, but group date. So let's talk about Mike for a second. I love him, and I didn't think I was going to. Like, they did introduce him on the first episode and noted that he was a virgin and everything and wanted to save himself for the right person for marriage. And so him being on this group date, obviously the producers wanted him to be on this group date. Like, I don't think it was Katie's choice. Maybe to an extent it was, but the producers are like, we got to get Mike on this episode because he's a virgin and this is all about sex, so we should get him on here, get him out of his comfort zone, and create some drama on this group date, potential drama. So the whole time I'm really nervous for him because I'm like, oh, Katie, I don't know how she's gonna react to it because she's all about like the confidence in that area. So I didn't know how she was gonna react to him, and he was gonna take a different route, like proving himself to be the perfect lover because he was saving himself, and he made it really super sweet, and I loved it. He was so sweet, and I'm honestly so glad she loved it and like didn't get like a little freaked out by it. I'm glad he like won that competition that they did, because that just kind of validates what they have and that she values his values in that way, if that makes sense. But I don't know, I just really loved it, and I hope that he sticks around for a while. All right, so I wrote some stuff down about Carl. Let's talk about him for a second. So he's definitely made out to be the villain, at least on this group date. Justin definitely doesn't like him. He senses something off about him, and like at this point I sensed something off about him too. He kind of made everything into a competition. It wasn't as much about her as it was about winning. I don't know how that's gonna fly in the long run with Katie. I'm sure it won't end well. Talking about Connor B. So Connor B wanted to redeem himself for the first kiss when he was dressed up as a cat. Guys, I have a love-hate relationship with Connor B. Sometimes he's cute and adorable and quirky, and then sometimes he's kind of creepy and awkward in a bad way. Am I the only one that thinks that? I don't know how to feel about him at all. I thought the whole redeeming the kiss thing was super weird. I thought the cat thing was super weird. I mean, she ate it up. She loved it. So he obviously knows what she likes. I don't know how to feel about him. What do you guys think about Connor B? Leave a comment below and tell me what you think, because I can't be the only one that like doesn't know how to feel about this guy. Okay, moving on to the one-on-one date. Greg is probably my favorite. I really hope he makes it far. She seems to really like him. I loved everything about their date. Me personally, I hate camping and the wilderness and everything. I prefer the beach over the woods, but like it was super cute for them. And Katie mentioned that it reminded her of her dad, and her dad passed away in 2012, so it was like really meaningful for her. And he was there for her in the best way. And then later on, when they met up again at dinner, he talked about how he had also lost his dad. So I thought that was, I mean, yeah, it's super sad, but at the same time, I thought it was cool how he waited to tell her, because when she was talking about it to him, he kind of let her have that moment, and he was there for her during that moment because it wasn't about him. So he actually opened up later on that day, and like that alone just like brought them even closer together. They have that bond now. They've both lost their dads, so like that alone will create this bond between them, because no one else can know what that feels like if it hasn't happened to them. So yeah, I don't know, I just really like him. I think he's super easygoing and sweet, and I just hope that he's not like, because you always hear these stories like with Jed on Hannah's season, you always hear how like behind the scenes there's some other stuff going on and he's actually not who he says he is and things like that. Like I really hope Greg is who he says he is, because he's super sweet and he's my absolute favorite, and I hope they end up together, period. I did write down that I was sad for the other guys because Greg got the first impression rose and the first one-on-one date, so they're like, oh, this guy's like it. But at the same time, that doesn't always mean anything, because people get the first impression rose and then they're gone like couple weeks after. You just never know what's gonna happen. So then I got back to Carl, because it started showing Carl a lot after like the one-on-one date, and he was just always talking about what he can do and how good he is at things, and he's just way too cocky. And when he was having the conversation with her, it just felt like, I don't know, it didn't feel genuine to me. He wasn't really talking about growing with her. It was just like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. I'm sure you guys get what I mean. He just didn't seem genuine at all. I think I like Thomas. It's hard to tell. She seems to really like him. He seems pretty genuine, I think. It's hard to tell this early on, but I think I like Thomas. We'll see kind of how their relationship grows as the season goes on, but I think he'll be around for a little while. She definitely seemed like she was more into the kiss with Thomas versus the kiss with Connor B, but I don't know. She seemed to like the kiss with Connor B as well, but I don't know why. I couldn't. Okay, so the second group date, everyone else but one guy got picked, and I'm thinking like, how in the heck are they gonna single out one guy to not go on this second group date? Like, that's harsh. That's so harsh. She did clarify later on that she felt like she had a good connection with him, so she didn't feel like he needed to be on that group date, but at the same time, it's still so early on. Why wouldn't she just put everybody on the group date? I don't get it. But I mean, I guess she's gonna keep him. It seemed like she was gonna keep him around for a little while. I think he's kind of adorable. He got like really pumped up when she was like reassuring him that he was okay, that they had a good connection. He was just like so hyper all of a sudden. But I don't know, I thought it was adorable. He was like taking a deep breath out, and like he felt safe finally. So then I went back to talk about the end of the one-on-one date. I don't know why everyone is always so shocked to see fireworks. Like, he's like, no way, and then the guys are like, oh, like what the heck, there's always fireworks, there's always flippin' fireworks. It's no surprise to anyone, and it's usually like on the first date, isn't it? Like, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like the fireworks always happen on the first date, or like within the first couple of dates. I feel like there's always fireworks. Okay, moving back on. I'm sorry, my notes are all over the place. I was just like, because they were going back and forth between things, and I was just writing them down as I was reacting to them. So moving back to the second group date. Again, another reason why I could never be on the Bachelorette, like other than the fact that I'm married, happily married, is the guys are going to be doing a mud wrestling competition. Like, I don't know. I'm not normal, I guess, but that just wouldn't be a date that I would enjoy watching. Anyway, so I mean, it was pretty harmless most of the time, but obviously they put Aaron and Cody together on purpose. The producers knew that they knew each other, that they had some tension between them, so obviously they were going to put them together to fight, because that always happens. They should have expected that at this point, because if they ever brought it up in an interview that they didn't like each other or whatever, that they knew each other, then producers would be like, oh, we got to get those two together right away. So that happened. Personally, watching it, I didn't see a lot of tension. Like when the girls, Tayshia, Caitlin, and Katie were freaking out about it, they're like, oh, This is so dramatic. Like, it wasn't that dramatic. Like, when Aaron flipped him over, it didn't seem like it was any more rough than like when the other guys were wrestling. So I don't really know where that came from. I guess it was just because they weren't looking at each other like they said, and like that was what they had to go off of. I don't know. I didn't think it was super tense, but maybe you guys thought differently. I don't know. Anyway, they put them together on purpose because they had to get that TV drama. That's how the show works. How reality shows work. They'll do anything they can to create drama, to make the show interesting. So I think that Aaron, I'm pretty sure I know that Aaron won that competition, that whole mud wrestling thing, just so Katie could pull him aside without anybody else, because the winner got to win like some alone time with Katie. So I think he won because she wanted to talk to him about that tension with Cody, and sure enough, it pretty much went straight to that. So it wasn't so much about she felt like she hadn't had that time with him, blah blah blah. Like, maybe that's true, but it was mostly about getting him to talk about Cody and whatever the heck was going on with them. So Aaron was more than happy to deliver. It seemed like he had all this information off the top of his head ready to go, which to me was kind of a red flag. I mean, maybe it wasn't to Katie. I know she appreciated having that info, but like for me, it was kind of a red flag. Like, he had prepared to put this guy on blast, and I know he claims that he was doing it to protect her or whatever, but for me, it kind of seemed like he was just ready to beat this guy down. And really, we don't know the full story. I haven't Googled it or anything. I'm scared for spoilers. So I haven't Googled it or anything. So obviously no one knows what actually happened. If Cody had actually put up suspicious things on social media, if he was only there for fame, because let's be honest, everyone is there for fame to an extent, because you're going on like one of the biggest reality shows out there. You are going on there for fame in some way. So it's just about if you're going on there for fame and love or just fame. So the story was that Cody was on there just for fame. He didn't care about Katie or any of that. So I don't know what the true story is. She did pull aside Cody later on and ask him what was up, and me personally, I think he was trying so hard to contain his anger. Like, he did mention that he was angry in his interview. I think he was trying so hard to contain it that it kind of came off like he didn't care, or that like it seemed rehearsed, like Katie said. I don't know. I kind of like to see the best in people sometimes. Sometimes you can tell like there's no hope for that guy. But this guy, I don't know. Maybe he did say some things and they were just kind of taken the wrong way or exaggerated, like he said, and that maybe he really was trying to hold himself back from getting really angry, that him explaining it didn't seem genuine. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think about that also. But the way that he reacted to it ultimately did ruin him, and she did send him home. And again, he kind of seemed like he didn't care. Like, okay, I understand, and then just left. But in the limo, it was a little bit more like, oh, I can't believe this happened. But I don't know. I don't really know what happened with that. If you guys have any more info on that, please let me know in the comments without telling me any spoilers, but just tell me like what happened with that whole Cody and Aaron thing, if you guys know anything else that I don't know. But after that, after Cody gets sent home, Aaron was kind of acting all high and mighty, like he was the hero and like, oh, I'd do it again in a heartbeat kind of thing. And that kind of rubs me the wrong way too. I don't like how he comes off. I don't know. There are some serious red flags for me with Aaron. Maybe he is genuine and maybe that's just how he is as a person, but I don't know. I just don't like that kind of attitude, that kind of dominant male thing. Like, it's okay to an extent, but not the way Aaron does it. Something about Aaron just rubs me the wrong way. And concluding that group date, I would like to say also that I'm glad Katie went on with the date after that whole thing happened with Aaron and Cody. I'm glad that she didn't, like, because there are sometimes when the girls, maybe the producers tell them to do it, maybe they don't, I don't know, but there are some times when girls, even guys, will throw like a little fit, a little temper tantrum, and scuttle off and say that they can't do this anymore, they're done for the night, and then leave the guys or girls like high and dry. And I'm like, really? It's week 2. There's still plenty of people here for you. I have never understood why they would like shut everything down and hurry off to their rooms and cry about it. Like, I don't get that. I think they should just continue on with the night and at least finish the night. So I'm glad that she toughened up and was able to do that for them. And at the end of the group date, I'm glad Andrew got the rose over Aaron. For a second, I thought that Aaron would have gotten the rose, but Andrew got it. He was actually super sweet. I'm kind of liking him. Okay, so let's talk about the end of the episode with Carl again. Carl. I don't know why Carl felt the need to speak up. He clearly did not have any of the facts or information. He was literally just stirring the pot. But she like kind of believed him for a second, and it kind of like ruined the rest of her night. He ruined everything for no reason. And I'm so glad that he fessed up and the guys like confronted him about it. For me, Aaron was actually in the right for this. What he was saying to him was absolutely right, because he made it about Katie and not about himself. He was telling Carl that she was over there crying because of what he said for no reason. And Carl was literally smirking during Katie's speech when she brought it up and said, if you guys aren't here for me, then you need to leave, kind of thing. Carl was in the back smirking. Like, are you kidding me? You literally did this to stir up drama, and I do not like people like that. So that kind of confirmed my suspicions about Carl, was that whole situation. So he needs to go. I hope that the next episode, some other guy will bring him up to Katie, because she doesn't take this crap. She sent Cody home straight away. So if she finds out about Carl and she sends him home straight away, that'll be good, because I don't want this Carl to stick around for any longer than necessary. So that is where the episode ended, was with that drama. So there was no rose ceremony. We don't know who's staying, who's going. And that is my recap. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't super boring. This is my first go at this, and I would love to talk about it with you in the comments. Like, seriously, tell me who your favorite guy is. Tell me how you feel about things that I talked about, anything. I would love to like get conversations going in the comments. It'll feel like we're just having a girls talk, and I love that. So yes, give it a like if you like this and want to continue seeing more of these Bachelorette recaps, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.
If I could take you up in boom, 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 tell me I'm the only one that you know. Life could be a dream, sweetheart.